So this is finally a long overdue follow-up video for my four-wheel steering controller. The whole hobby in general for the last couple of months has just had to kind of get shelved and get put on hold. We had a new baby and have been having a few issues with her lately. Yeah, it takes priority unfortunately, but now we've got that sorted, got the right medication for her, and she's back on to being a happy baby. It means I can crack on with trying to get things sorted here and get back on track. Still quite a bit to do, but anyway, last video of my four-wheel steering controller was just my very ugly as sin prototype board here. Huge, bulky, doesn't really fit anywhere, doesn't look nice. Today I finally finished getting the code revised and making up my final board there, and yeah, I need to get a good camera, but anyway, notice the complete size difference there, and just got to put a heat shrink on it, clean some more of the residual flux off there from the solder paste. But one thing you should notice if you saw my video is there are absolutely no trim pots on there for the rear servo for the endpoint adjustment or the center trim. And that is because it is all done in software. So following the tradition from all of my current circuits, this will work with a 2-position and 3-position aux channel to control the modes. If you don't have an aux channel to use, not a problem. Got the push button there, just got to put some heat shrink on the end of that. Push button is used to set up your rear servo EPAs and trim. Push and hold that on power up. And once that's done, if you're not using an aux channel, then this is your means to switch between your modes. Upgraded my radio as well, gone for a 4C, having a few issues with that at the moment. It seems to like losing the saved switch assignments for model memory 1, and after almost 2 months of constantly emailing Spectrum and Horizon Hobby, they finally messaged me back saying that they're aware of the problem now and they're working on a new firmware. So just got to wait for that to emerge so I can get that sorted. But for the time being, just got finished with this. So let's have a play. So yeah, we got radio on. So I'm going to try and do this one-handed. So basically what we're going to do is turn it on and go straight into the programming menu. And bear with me. And okay, so we are, yeah, of course, bear with me one moment. Unplugging everything, and I didn't plug the power back in for the receiver. It's late, I've been busy working. One moment. Just one of these days I'm going to have just an awesome video with no faux pas and forgetting to do things. Okay, so let's try again. This time we have power to the receiver, thankfully, and let's just try and move that around so you can see the LED on that. Okay, so let's try again, and power on, and that's indicating we're going to setting mode. Release it once, push button once. Every time you push the button, it will flash back how many times you've pressed it. There are 3 settings. Setting 1 is your servo neutral point. So, bear with me. Now, wherever I turn this is going to be its neutral point, but for the time being we'll just leave it there. So, if I push the button, that's saved. 2. So always set the left endpoint first, because if your channel's reversed, then based on what the value it sees for left tells the firmware which direction you're turning it, and the values based on how your servos should be positioned if it's reversed. But so if we this is kind of fun doing this one-handed, so why can't we born with 3 hands? So okay, let's try that. So that's full travel, and we just change that down there. So that's that saved. 1, 2. And if we do the right, And I'm just going to set them so that they're not full travel, so you'll see it when we're switching the modes. And that's that one saved. So just 3 settings to change, and now it's going into its main mode. So just move that out of the way. So okay, so let's try. So okay, as we see at the moment, just front, and then this will be just rear. Notice the lack of travel there. And then this will be crab, and if you look at the difference between the front and the rear travel, you notice how much we get on that front before the rear comes back into play. I mean, obviously we're going to have to throw completely the same as the front more or less, but see, and that is where the rear stops, and we have just that little bit much more before the rear comes back in. And mirror. So glad I finally got this done. Smaller board takes up less real estate, which gives me a little bit more room just to pack everything in the top there with my multi-channel switch, the 4 steering controller and the winch controller. So that's just an update for that for now. Got a few other things in the pipeline, but there's not really much point going too much into those until I've got more of the code work done and decided what chips I'm going to use. But follow on with my current tradition, it's all going to be surface mount and as small as I can get it, but a couple of them in particular are going to be very interesting indeed, with a few unique features, but we'll leave that for the time being until that's dealt with. So until then, that's it for my current projects.